Sorry, I was nervous. All I had the strength to show you was my bean. My name's Drew Monson. This is my second channel. If you've never been here before, I talk about lots of different things, and I don't edit the video, like a real man. Can I tell you, I had an awkward moment last night. I have a couple awkward moments to talk about, but there is nothing I hate more in this world, truly, than seeing somebody that I used to know. I don't like that. If I used to know you, all done. No reunion necessary. My least favorite type of person is someone that I used to know. Gaudier, I never figured out how to say his name, but he was right. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Let's keep it that way. You see me at the store? I'm hanging out with my bread, not you. I've never figured out how to pronounce that man's name. He was like the most famous person on earth for a week and a half in 2012, but no one knew how to say it. Somebody I used to know by Gadia? Gok. Because I walked outside at sunset, because I always go outside at sunset. You should do this. I made a promise to myself. By the way, how are you? No way! You got an iPad? Which one? Rose gold! I'm dead. I walked outside at sunset because I promised myself like 3 months ago, I'm not missing the sunset anymore. I saw a real good sunset like October of last year, and I said, that's it, I'm doing this every night. Gotta say bye-bye to the sun in the sky. So I walk out, and a guy in a truck, and I'm only wearing like socks, and I'm holding tea, just to give you an image. What do you think? And a guy in a truck pulls up, which is like my biggest fear. Right away, I'm like, what are you doing with that bed? Is that what you call the back of a truck, a bed? Why? I'm not getting in there. You think that's a queen? What? Queen size mattress. Does it sing Bohemian Rhapsody? I'm just thinking of jokes. I can never stop myself. So, a guy in a truck, and he takes his sunglasses down and he goes, what's going on? And I kind of knew who it was, but I didn't want to like embarrass myself and go, ugh! And then he goes, no, I just want to know what's going on because you're good looking and you're wearing socks. And I think I just repeated what he said. I went, what's going on? Like when I get uncomfortable, I'm like, ha 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 ha. I know they call it nervous laughter for a reason, but like, if you ever meet me and you start thinking you're really funny, But I realized who it was and I said his name. And it was someone I used to know in high school. And I didn't even know we lived in the same place, but listen to what he said to me. He goes, you making any new movies? Which is like, I literally went, no. And he goes, why not? I'm like, I don't know, man. Check out Drew Monson #2. Got lots of vlogs on there about my life. Doesn't really explain many different chunks, but I get into what I'm comfortable with. Anyway, he said, why? He said, you should make more movies. He said, what are you doing? Which I don't like having, no matter, even if I'm doing something impressive, the second that somebody I used to know asks me, like, what have you been up to? Like, I could have just built a house, and I'd be like, what have you're right, you know what? I'm hungry, I'm so sorry, I didn't do what you needed me to do. It's so hot right now, but I don't want to take off my beanie and show you my hairline. Why does global warming have to happen when my locks are thinning? Why did these... By the way, can I just acknowledge the world is getting worse every day? I feel like I should say something. I can't tell because like the news is horrible. And part of me feels like I look like I'm ignorant if I don't say something, but then another part of me is like, who's turning on a Drew Monson #2 video? Like, is he gonna get into the news? No, he's gonna get into Drew Monson #2 like he always does. But anyway, he said, what have you been doing? I said, I make YouTube. And he goes, and you make hella money? But people always want me to, it's so funny, like and you make hella, I'm like, I didn't say that. I would never say, yeah. What if I just did that? What if he walked up to me, or drove up to me in his truck? Because I walk and he drives, he's a real man. But he doesn't know how to talk about many different topics. Anyway. I was like, I'm doing YouTube, and he goes, oh, really? What's your channel? And I'm like, what do you mean? I went to high school I think I went to elementary school. I've known this guy since I was very, very small, and you don't know I've got a... There's the ego. Did you hear that? That was the Hulk. Somebody not knowing I have a YouTube channel. But he knew. He said, oh, what's your name on there? I'm like, what? Who are you, dude? Anyway, I had a weird week, because By the way, another thought I had, can I just say, let me know if this is interesting to you. Are you literally using your rose gold iPad right? I know, I'm just like, I'm shocked. Not because I think you're poor, not at all. But did you like win it on one of those, have you ever seen one of those like, games at the store and like it has, hi, sorry, that's like a weird edit, but I had to edit the video there because I lost track of what I was talking about, and I've been talking about stuffed animals for the past 3.5 minutes, and I just realized now I'm not making any sense and I don't want you to see it. I know what you're thinking, Drew, no, seriously, I need to see it. I'm not kidding, you don't understand. I can't not see something. Please release the stuffed animal cut. But it's not worth it, I promise you that. Look at this cup, by the way. I want your honest opinion. Do you think what is written on this cup that I bought at the dollar store today is at least kind of funny? Because you know how nothing at the store is ever funny? Like, I don't know who it's for, who has that sense of, that like Target sense of humor. Like whatever Target writes on their shirts or their mugs or their little signs that's like, sarcastic? What gave you that idea? And I just always imagine, like, what if I was the person who walks in and saw a shirt that said, sarcasm is a language that I'm blah, 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 and I went, imagine if that was me. But anyway, this cup says, how do I take my coffee? Seriously. Maybe that's not funny. I just thought at least it's a pun. How do I take my coffee? Seriously. Oh, like, take it. But then it says very seriously. I feel like that's overkill. What do you think? Anyway, by the way, I had a moment at the dollar store today where I realized that I don't even like admitting this. Whenever I say that, by the way, I do like admitting it. I like embarrassing myself. But I am a very jealous person. Like, at my core. And it makes me kind of uncomfortable, because even in a moment like this, like, I go out to check out because I get my worthless purchase because I don't know what else to do today. And you know, the cashier says to me, do you need a bag? And I say no, and I've got my backpack, I'm a real man. And then I check out and whatever. And as I'm walking away, I hear her say to the next person, do you need a bag? Like in the same exact way, like, do you need a, and I'm like, a small part of me for 1 second goes, hey, I thought you just wanted to know if I needed a, why are you asking, like, what? By the way, wouldn't it be funny if when the cashier said, do you need a bag, if I went, no, do you? And I pulled out a bag, and I went, I don't care if you're at work, you need to put your stuff somewhere. And they went, sir, I need you to leave. And I went, because I brought my own bag and I'm giving it to you? Some Christmas this is. Anyway. What I was going to say before, okay, so I feel like I'm not really becoming an adult in that, like, all these landmarks that you're supposed to hit, and I know I'm not alone in that feeling, like, there's lots of people that aren't, like, buying a house and getting married or whatever. I feel like the only thing I'm doing, though, in becoming an adult is I'm asking all of my friends, like, are you gonna have kids? And I realize that when I say that, you think you'll ever have kids? It comes out of fear, because it's me saying, like, I don't want to have kids. Will somebody else say it too? Because I feel like I'm not a real person. Am I a real guy? If I ever asked you, do you think you'll have kids? What I'm really saying is, am I a real guy? So just say yes, and I'll leave you alone. But I had this moment, like, all of a sudden I zoomed out, and I had an existential moment. Maybe this is like a cliche thought. I don't even know yet until I make this video. But I asked my friend, do you think you'll have kids? And she went, I don't know yet, I think maybe. And I thought about my parents saying that. And I had this like weird thought of like, at one point I was an option. Like my existence in general was like something for somebody, my parents, to like ponder. Like at one point someone asked my mom or my dad, do you think you'll have kids? And they went, huh. And that's me. You know what I mean? That's me. I don't know if that's like egotistical or not, but I think my mom actually always wanted to have kids. Imagine if she didn't. Mom, no, you gotta do it. You're gonna have Drew Monson. Just everybody crowding around my mom at 22. No, you gotta have kids, ma'am. You're gonna have Drew Monson. He's gonna have 2 different channels. What? 1 second. I had this moment, by the way, it was yesterday, where have you ever realized that it was like one of those moments where everything like comes together, like that moment in a movie where someone like puts it all together. And I know this kind of comes out of insecurity. The thing I was putting together was that I've been the one reaching out to my friend and starting and asking to hang out. And obviously if someone's hanging out with me, they're hanging out with me. If they're talking to me, they're talking to me. But there was a part of me that was like, wait a second, am I that friend that they're just kind of like keeping at bay and they kind of like, but they kind of wish would go away, but they don't know how to say it? And I just like put it all together. I'm like, wait a second, I literally double text every time. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. There's a part of there, that insecure kind of toxic part of me that just wants to text and be like, all right, let's get down to it. Do you like me or not? But I can't do that. I can't be that. I don't like when I'm that, and I can't be that. I had a moment the other day too, just having a lot of moments recently. Because I hung out with friends in like a big way. Or like and you know, I live alone in an apartment, and I honestly don't even leave the house because of like what I do. I just do this and like try to do things around this, making videos. I don't end up having to do much and leaving the house for more than like an hour and a half at a time. A lot of the time. So when I like come home from a whole day, it's kind of a rare feeling for me where I'm like, what? It's in that moment that I like appreciate that I have my own space, you know, when you leave it for a while and then you come back. But it's also kind of sad because I recognize that for a lot of people, that's the moment when like, you know, you see like, Daddy, or whatever, you know, like you kiss the person that you kiss, or there's somebody, and I just like walk up to my turtle and go, your tank looks okay. Do you want pellets or lettuce? Like, that's all I've really got. And I do love my turtle a whole lot. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I have a turtle. Please hit the subscribe button and hit that bell. Otherwise, I will stop buying my turtle food. I can't help myself. If I don't hit 100K by a month, I'm gonna stop feeding my turtle. I was gonna say that's not a joke. That is a joke. Don't yell. But anyway, I had a moment recently where I like went out with friends for the whole day, and I met more people than I've met. Like, I was around, like, 'cause there's a type of person, and I kind of talk about this a lot, this whole idea of like people who are good socially. Like, my sister was, I think that's part of it. Like, I grew up with a popular sister, and I was weird. I kind of ended up being popular in my own way, where, I don't know, people I went to high school with say that I was like kind of popular for making videos, but to me it was just this like arm's length kind of like, look, he's weird, but kind of cool, but don't come to our party. But I know some people that are like very good at just, you ever walk around with somebody and they like get recognized not as a famous person, but just as a popular person? Like, that's the kind, like, I get recognized as like a famous person, but being recognized as like, hey girl, what's up? Like, I mean, no one calls me hey girl. Actually, some people do. I don't really want them to, but hey, listen, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But anyway, I was hanging out with like my popular friends, and they were, you know, I don't know, it's just I don't even know what I'm saying about it, but it was like a full day where I'm kind of at the end of it like, oh, I never have that. Oh, I can feel it ending, and I don't want it to end, and I know that maybe they do it more than I do, of like, actually, now let's go over here. Oh, we're gonna get dinner with this person, and then we're gonna go over there, and maybe we can do this later. And I'm like, you guys, how are you not just asleep? How do you not hibernate like 3 times a year? You're just like hanging out with different people for 12 hours every weekend? And there was also a weird moment where I like got recognized, but it was by somebody who like knew my friends. And because it was like my friends who I've known forever, and they don't do YouTube. And it was strange because like they introduced me to this girl, and she's like, oh my god, you're Drew Monson. I'm like, yeah, literally. I mean, I don't know. Okay, that sounded. What I mean is like, literally, I'm so accessible. Like it's weird because even in that moment, like the dynamic of like being like a semi-famous person or whatever is set up to where you kind of like look at me like, because it's just kind of a crazy idea, like somebody coming out of the computer screen, or like I feel that with anybody, even if I've like watched people with like 2,000 subscribers before, and I saw someone at the store once like, I actually didn't. I just made up a story because I felt myself continuing to talk and I felt like I was on a roll. I didn't see someone at the store with 2,000 subscribers. I kind of want to turn off the camera right now because I'm so ashamed that I lied about that. Let me keep talking. Who would that even be? I do? Okay. But anyway, this girl seemed like it was just I don't know exactly. Let me think about it. Sorry, I had to edit the video again. I realize I talk about editing my videos like it's an accident, like I burped or farted or something. Oh, excuse me, I edited. But anyway, I got recognized by somebody who knew my friends. It's a weird experience that has happened to me a good amount of times where it's like I'm being recognized by someone, but like the dynamic in general proves that I'm actually not that famous. If like I'm so accessible, we literally know the same people, but there's still this kind of like sometimes, which again, I don't think is even like really deserved because I'm so far away from what some people think that I am. Like I've talked about this before, but the second that someone's like, you're Drew Monson, I'm like, literally, I walk around like looking for people to talk to because I'm so alone and I have a hard time relating to, like, I'm not whatever you think I am. Like, spend 3 minutes with me and it will all be gone and you'll be like, you're Drew Monson. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, it'll change. Because the other day I went to I visited my friend at work and their coworker went, you didn't tell me you knew Drew Monson? And it's like, and I guess it sounds like I'm bragging or something. I'm not, and if that person is watching this video right now, I like that. Overall, like that little piece of me where like I walk into social situations or like anywhere I go, I do acknowledge like this, there's a 5% chance that somebody here knows who I am and they're like kind of looking at me and they're kind of excited or they're turning to their friend like, that's Drew Monson, you know who that, like, I don't love admitting, kind of do, because I love admitting things. I don't love admitting that part of me really likes that and I don't know what I would do if I didn't have that anymore. I'd like flop around like a fish out of water, like where did my chance of recognition go? But yeah, I never really minded, but sometimes it makes me feel like very separate from people in the way that like someone will, in that moment, like when I was hanging out with my friends and this girl, like that, there is a part of me that when a friend of a friend goes, you're Drew Monson, I just want to have met that because they seemed cool. And I almost wish that that wasn't there because I don't know if they actually want to meet the one that, the Drew Monson that my friends know. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I really can't, again, every time I talk about like my fame, there is a part of me that like knows that it's an actual thing, and a bigger part of me is like, what are you talking about? Almost nobody knows. So it's very strange. But it was just funny because like she was talking to me about, are you Drew Monson? And then turned to her friend and he went, who? And she went, you didn't know? He's famous. And just the idea that there are so many famous people now that you can go, I didn't know you were famous. Like, I'm not then. I guess I'm not. It's such a weird idea too. Like, do you ever think about like, our brains were probably not, I mean, not designed for almost anything that's happening these days, the internet and all of that, but like seeing somebody seeing a small version of, that's really what it is. Like this person saw a small version of me, unless they projected me on the big screen. Please do that. I wonder if anyone watching this has a home theater. I wonder if any like super rich famous people watch my videos but they don't want to tell me because they think if they like make themselves known that it'll like change everything and I'll just be thinking about how Tom Cruise watches my vlogs. But anyway, it's weird to like see someone, because it's weird enough already that like we have all our friends and then we see small little versions of them in our pocket. I know I'm being a little bit fake deep now, but like I think that's what accounts for a lot of the like, you're Drew, it's not even you're Drew Monson. It's literally, I've only seen, you're the person that was on the screen and you were just digital and now you're a real guy. That's all it really has to be, right? Maybe not, because I guess if you have any kind of friends, you see like someone on Instagram like, oh, you know Bobby, I know Bobby. What am I talking about anymore? 1 second. I had a day yesterday where I realized, I mean, just one of those reminders that like a person, I can be so many different people. Like a person can be so many different types of people. Like in a moment, I can be confident, like for real confident, like when I'm getting recognized even, it's like I can feel someone kind of wanting to impress me or being like excited by me, and like I'm not that I'm like so much better than them, but maybe I'm a little bit more on top there. But the second that I feel someone else has like a little bit more power than me, I go so hard into the other side, like I assume that role and I'm just a 4-year-old, like where's the bottle? Where's the bottle? Was that a good impression of a 4-year-old? If anyone has like a 4-year-old little brother, compare the two. What was that 4-year-old's name? Ty? Ty, not even short for Tyler, just Ty. If anyone has a 4-year-old little brother, show him that video of me going, where's the bottle? Where's the button? Say, does that seem like you? And he'd go, no, that seems like Ty. And you go, wait, what? But anyway, I went to physical therapy, which I think this is kind of a good story because I went to physical therapy once before, like 2 weeks ago. So my insurance is paying for it because I have bad back, you know. 26.8-year-old with a bad back, just trying so hard not to accept the fact that I'm a grandpa already. And I feel ashamed when I tell anybody that, because it sucks to have a bad back when you're kind of young, because there's no way to say, yeah, I've got a bad back, without sounding really old. And I know that being old isn't bad, blah, blah. Come on, it kind of is. Just kidding, Grandma. But anyway, I get there, and the first time I went, they just showed me stretches and like gave me a piece of paper and to do the stretches at home. And I was like, physical therapy is easy. The second time, I come in expecting that again. And I walk in, and this girl comes up to me, and it was a different person. I was like, where's my last time person? Because I could just tell, you just meet people sometimes, for whatever reason, it really doesn't feel like you deserve it. They just don't like you. And you don't know if you're kind of making it up, but it's like, I think that I cannot tell if you're having a bad day or you don't like me. But this girl seemed a little bit annoyed with me, and then she was walking away, and I could overhear the conversations with when you hear like coworker banter, and you kind of want to be a part of it, like they're talking about how this guy has a crush on somebody, and he wants to propose to his girlfriend. I'm hearing kind of the half understanding the inside jokes. And part of me is like, I wish I had a real job. But then part of me is like, I think I would get really bored of this very quickly. 27-year-olds with bad backs would walk in, like, not understanding anything. Because what happened is they had me, like, go on the bike for 10 minutes. They said, okay, warm up on the bike. And it's, you ever done an exercise bike? It's very boring. And I put my phone in the cubby. They had like a little cubby, and then they set a timer for 10 minutes. And I just had this moment where I realized how addicted to my phone I am, because for some reason I always think people are looking at me even when they're not. I thought it would look weak of me to stand up from the bike and like get my phone and like watch a YouTube, because I didn't want to I just had to sit. They were playing the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I had to listen to a playlist. I had to listen to 10 minutes of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they weren't playing my favorites. So I'm doing the bike, and then she puts me on this machine that's like, I don't even know what, I don't understand any of this stuff. Like, when someone kind of assumes you have, like, I don't have like the common sense version of a lot of information. Like, someone would be like, the last time I went to physical therapy, they kept talking about reps. And I've heard people say that before, reps. I don't like that word. They kept going, and do 10 reps. And it took me like 22 minutes to finally go, sorry, what's reps? And they went, repetition. And I'm like, then say that! I didn't yell at nobody. But she puts me on this machine that it's kind of like a bike, but I'm like this, right? I'm not like that. But it was like a black platform, and then there was like, the weights. It was like, what do you call it? Weights? What do you call it when you do weights? I don't even know the name of that. But there was a little thing, it says 20, 40, 60, whatever. And she puts it at like 40, and she goes, now press yourself back. And for some reason I was already nervous. And when you're just so nervous talking to someone you don't know and you feel like they have power over you, that any word they say, I just freeze up and I'm like, what? And I go, sorry, what do you mean press yourself back? And she goes, like, press yourself back? I'm like, okay. You're not gonna work with me at all here. I can tell that it's like what some people I've gone on dates with have said. I just don't think we're on the same wavelength. You know what I mean? So she goes, press, and I tried it. I think I'm trying to do it, but I didn't even understand what she said, so it didn't happen. And she goes, she kind of laughs at me. She laughed at me. She went, okay, let's take it down a little bit. And she put it from 40 pounds to 20 pounds. She put it from 40 pounds to 20 pounds! And I finally figured out what pressing it back meant. Pressing myself back. And I wanted to be like, no, I can do 40, I can do 40. But anyway, she kept telling me to do 20, and for an hour, she kept doing, I know that I'm just complaining about exercising. And it's also, this is what I mean, in like one of those moments, I it almost feels like part of me, maybe like the child part of me, or that little where's the bottle part of me, thinks I'm not even allowed to leave. Cause like I was in a bad mood, I was hungry, I don't exercise that much ever. Like I'm not really chubby right now. I'm not chubby right now. Please don't see my body and think that this is chubby. Not to brag, but just, let's not give everybody body image issues. But I just, you can be even skinny and just not be able to do too many things for very long. Like you can have trouble walking up the stairs, and just you can. And I've been chubby and been able to do more things than I can do right now. I don't even understand what a body is half the time. But I couldn't do it, and I just wanted to go. And I guess there was a part of me that was just like pushing myself, but there was another part of me that was just so scared of what that girl, who's already seemed a little bit annoyed with me, how she would react if I went, you know what, I just can't do this. And I could tell that I was, and when I left, it was true, because I felt exhausted, and it wasn't like a good exhausted, like I was hungry, and I just felt like I had to do whatever she said. Does this make any sense? I know it's not like a traumatic experience or something, but there was something, and I just wanted her to like me, and then I started saying sorry a lot, and I realized that I think sometimes I do that because like I just want them to tell me it's okay, but she wasn't. She was not taking the sorry bait. I mean, a lot of times it's hard to know, because if you're someone who says sorry a lot of times it's legitimate. You really, maybe, you feel insecure and you feel like you do something. It's just like it's an instinct, and we all say sorry too much or whatever, but come on, sometimes you're just saying it because you want someone to go, it's okay. You just want them to go, no, you're not bad, you're good. Right? What else did I write down? I think I don't know how long this video is. I really got no idea. I just wrote down friends. These are my video notes. Friends. What do you want me to talk about? Phoebe and Monica? What? I'm yelling at myself right now. As does happen sometimes. I guess that's the whole thing. I'm going to talk more on my Patreon. I've been doing like 15 to 25 minutes, sometimes 30. I'm going to do a live stream on there soon. I do one every month, if you didn't know that. I'm going to sing the names of the people now that pay me $30 or more on my... Maybe that'll be a good song. Stay tuned. Don't click out yet. It could be the best song you've ever heard. I want to think of one more thing to say, though. You know what? No. I'm gonna pull him out. I'm gonna pull him out. I'm gonna talk to my 21-year-old adopted British son as a gift for who you watched this far into the video, and I thank you. Sometimes I do the 21-year-old adopted British son like halfway through the video, and then like 10 people will comment, why don't you do the British son anymore? And I'm like, well, I guess you didn't watch my video, now did you? I'm having fun. I got a new chair, by the way. What do you think? I don't like it. Son, you were there with me. We went to Office Max and you said that I said I like the leather, but I realized when we got home that it's faux leather. Now why would you get faux leather? You do sponsorships. You're telling me I gotta buy you diapers. Don't tell them I'm diaping. Don't tell them I'm diaping. Diaper can't be a verb, and we all know that. What's the grammar word for things that end in ing? That's a good way to get engagement. Ask somebody about grammar that I don't know. Because people love telling you stuff you don't know. People are very, very helpful. Son, do you have anything else to say? What's it like being on Drew Monson's YouTube channel? He doesn't pay me. Okay, I pay you in diapers. Why am I talking about diapers so much? Literally, I can always see, it literally is like, these videos are like me giving myself therapy, because I start to notice the patterns. Certain days I'll be talking about my mom a lot, I'm like, what's going on there? Some days I'm like comparing myself to a child, wanting my bottle, bringing up diapers. Something's happening, and I kind of hate the fact that you can probably see it too, but I also love that. And hey, if you're ever hanging out somewhere and you see me and it turns out that I know your friends, say hi to me. I love being famous. That's the message of this video. God, the world is bad. I don't know what to say about it. I know that's kind of a cop-out to be like, I don't know what to do, it's too much, it's too complicated, but like, it's kind of weird too, like when bad things happen, I don't even want to get into it, but like, I feel like this thing happens where like a horrible thing happens because of the way everything is set up, and we talk about it for like 5 days like, oh, this is so horrible, and no, it is horrible, but it's like, yeah, because because, and I know I'm not really doing anything about the because either, I guess. I mean, I donate money here and there. There's nothing I say more defensively in the entire world than I donate money. I donate. I will scream that in someone's face if they ever. I $50 the other day. Swear to God. Anyway, I'm gonna sing the song now. By the way, defensive right now, and I know if you're watching this far, you know that's not what I meant, but I just want to say, I didn't mean like when something terrible happens at a school that like you should just, hey, what'd you expect? Stop talking about it. Like, I think you should talk about it, and I don't think it should be normalized at all. But it's just that, I don't even think anyone is shocked. It's just that uncomfortable combination of like not being shocked, but also being shocked, like seeing something shocking that doesn't shock you. But it feels hopeless, and it feels like this. I don't want this to make anyone anxious. I want my videos to be like a fun thing to watch, but I just have to get some of this stuff off my chest, because that feeling of like hopeless anxiety of like there is a train going and I just want to stop it, but I don't feel like I can, but I know there's little things I can do. And knowing that when something horrible happens in the news, it tends to, like, is it inspiring more? Is someone seeing this horrible thing and wanting to do more horrible things? And I just want to stop the train so badly. And and I know that I've been ignored. I feel embarrassed, like, overall. It's not about me, but I just mean, like, everything terrible in the world that, like, somebody like me, with all my privilege, and I'm not just talking about my fame privilege, my somebody might recognize me privilege, your 21-year-old son privilege. That's not a privilege, baby. Why'd I call you baby? I don't know. I'm not a baby anymore. Look at my impression of a baby. Where's the bottle? Hey, that's mine. I did that, and it wasn't a baby. It was a 4-year-old, and his name was Ty. Mine's name is Tyronius, and he's a baby, and he says, where's the bottle? Where's the bottle? Anyway, I just think about it because, like, you know how this whole thing is happening where, like, the evil forces that be have, like, set up a little domino thingy for, like, fascism to happen, and they're, like, they've pressed it, and it's, like, starting, and they're taking away abortion, and then they're gonna do other stuff, too. I know that there's been, like, warnings that was gonna happen, and that all of those times until, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, I was like, I don't hear you, and I feel embarrassed about that. And I don't really know what to do besides talk about it and say that I don't like it. I don't like the idea that things are just gonna get worse and worse, and I guess there's no point in sitting around and going, why would you do that? And I get so sick of, like, are we ever gonna stop the cycle of quote tweeting I just get so annoyed. I don't understand how people don't see that, like, the rise of Trump or whatever, it's just, you don't have to talk about, you don't have to put your comment on top of someone else's ignorant comment. You're just showing more people the ignorant comment. Stop giving a guy whose initials are EM more attention. Just stop. It's literally, I don't understand. I don't understand how people can't help themselves. I don't get that. I think I'm not like a Bo Burnham, like everyone needs to shut up. I'm not. I am like, just stop talking about dumb people. Be your own smart person. I'm not Bo Burnham! I'm at this point, I'm losing my mind in a closet. And that's okay. And can you admit that it's a little bit funny? How do I take my Drew Monson #2 vlogs? How did Drew Monson just take the last 5 minutes of his very silly video? Seriously, very seriously. He tried to talk about the whole world at once. Did he do it? Only the comments will tell you. He feels a certain way about it right now, but he has a hard time knowing how he feels about anything until he sees somebody else's reflection of what just happened. God, I'm gonna sing the song now. God, I'm gonna sing the song now. I got a new person on here. Are you ready to hear the new name? We have a new member. Welcome! By the way, I got a dog. Speaking of new members, bark into my life, why don't you? Kiss my nose. That was him saying that. Kiss my nose. Okay, I will. How about you kiss my nose? I can't. You're 21 now. It would be weird. I'm your dad, not your wife. I wish I hadn't said that. By the way, I love anyone who watches this all the way to the song. Can I just say? Maybe I shouldn't say that because maybe you're a horrible person. Are you a bad person? That would give, I feel like I know that everyone watching my videos probably is like always on the verge of an anxiety attack. Maybe you're watching this like, not me, I'm good. but I feel like I'm giving them out. But are you a horrible person? Be real. I won't even tell it. No, it's not recording you. Your phone is recording you, but no one's gonna listen to it. I can't hear it though. Just say it. Just say it. No, it'll feel good to let it out. Oh, you're a good person? Why? Okay, I don't think that having a rose gold iPad makes... No, I thought it was cool that you got an iPad, but I don't think it... You think you're a good person because you went to the Apple store? Kiss my nose. Wait. This dog, by the way, it's a scent warmer. I got one of those wax scent thingies. I didn't know what it was. I bought those little wax things. I didn't know I thought you just put it in your drawer. But then I found out I had to buy a warmer, and I found this dog one. Stories with Drew. You never know what's coming. He's gonna say something. Chris Crosby, ooh. Made their name Moonlit Monson. I already talked about this, but I thought it was sweet. I said, I'll say your name. They're like, no, say your own name. My name's not. What if my real first name was Moonlit and Drew was a stage name? Moonlit Monson, Lauren Lawrence, Rachel Hannah, Hannah Campbell, Bambi Boop Boop, Tony Crime. This is going on longer than usual. I'm saying the names. Okay. I'm just excited. We got a new person. Lonnie M. Riley Radford, Baron Shahan, Leon Domla, Lucy Kenya. So many of these end up rhyming. It's very strange. Riley